Good day to you all, brothers and sisters, and happy Easter. This is Steve Sandoval, and welcome to Pathways of Hope. In today's reading, it is told that Mary from Magdala wept outside the tomb where Jesus' body was lain. She had gone back to the empty tomb after calling Peter and John, distraught that the body of Jesus was gone. And so when she stooped down to look into the tomb, there were two men in white sitting inside the tomb. Sadness had overcome her that she did not find it odd at all that two men in white would be sitting inside. Then Jesus appeared behind her, and he asked her why she was weeping. But she did not recognize Jesus. Her eyes were filled with tears when she was face to face with him. And so, she thought Jesus was the gardener. She faced back to the grave and not to Jesus. But then, Jesus, being the good shepherd, called out her name, Mary. And all of a sudden, she recognized Jesus, and her sadness turned into joy. In an instant, she was so happy. And then we see our first evangelist emerge, the bearer of good news, as she sent to the disciples to tell them that she has seen the Lord, arisen, resurrected. I can imagine how today, in this time of pandemic, like Mary, many have found out their loved ones had died, and they will not be able to see their bodies as they were immediately cremated or buried. They too must have felt as Mary felt, the suddenness and the disbelief that the body of their loved ones is gone, without so much as a short time to see the physical body and say goodbye. So there are some things that we can learn here from this reading. First lesson we learn is that to see Jesus during these difficult times of the pandemic, we need to pause from thinking of our personal trials and pray. Mary's inward focus on herself towards the loss of her opportunity to grieve personally over Jesus' body prevented her from recognizing Jesus. In prayer, we can ask to hear Jesus, the Good Shepherd, call out our name. And in the midst of this difficulty, just like Mary, we can turn from ourselves and look toward Jesus and hear our name. The second lesson is that to go through very difficult situation, we should never lose focus on Jesus. Mary kept focusing on the grave. That is the wrong direction. Even as Jesus spoke to her, she looked the other way. Only when she turned to look at Jesus after he called her name did she recognize him. As St. Paul said, let us lay aside every weight and sin that clings so closely, and let us look to Jesus, the founder and perfecter of our faith. Third lesson is that whenever one has a genuine encounter with the resurrection of Christ, the usual result is that Jesus commissions us and sends us out to be bearers of good news. He actually told Mary in the reading not to stay too long with him as she sought to pay homage to him, but rather instead Mary was sent out to the disciples to declare, I have seen the Lord. Brothers and sisters, despite the extension of the ECQ, we can learn from Mary of Magdala. Let us take time to pray with thanksgiving for Easter. Pause from thinking of our personal trials so we can hear Him call out our name. And then find the grace to declare to the Lord and all around us, I have seen the Lord. God bless you all.